So I wanted to talk about some of the fighters in the UFC that people are perceiving that these fighters are similar to Khabib. And I'm not talking about the fraud checks that happened in the last main event against Rosenstrike, Shamil Ghaziev. I'm not talking about the person who Strickland defeated, someone who was from Germany and fought out of Russia. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about these fighters who are in the camp of Khabib, who are playing, who are fighting, and have a history with Khabib. I'm talking about Umar Nurmagomedov. I'm talking about Usman Nurmagomedov. I'm talking about these fighters who are really, really entrenched with Khabib. Like they know Khabib and they are with Khabib, and other fighters also like Zubairato Khugov and all these other like fighters who are in the camp of Khabib. Why they're different, and I will divide this video into three parts where I will explain why they are not Khabib, why they are different. And first part will be about how they are different from Khabib in terms of in a negative way, not in a not in a very good way. And the second part will be about that how they are different from Khabib and how it makes them more interesting, and that's like in a positive way. And in the third thing, I will talk about generally what the fans perceive that a style similar to Khabib is, which is actually isn't. So the first, because third in the third part I will explain why certain fighters look similar to Khabib but they aren't Khabib. Why they cannot never why there cannot be any other Khabib. Why Khabib era was really different. So the first the first part of this video I will focus on the how these fighters are different than Khabib in a negative way. Everybody, when Islam Makhachev was fighting against, remember that fight where the close fight with Islam Makhachev and um, Alexander Volkanovski happened? Everybody was like, Alex Volkanovski would absolutely dominate, like dominate Khabib Nurmagomedov because he out wrestled Islam Makhachev. And I was like, really? Like this is your opinion. I really respect it, but if you really want to know what would happen, I will tell you what would happen. I think you don't understand that Habib doesn't only take you down, he used to smash you on the ground. He is not someone who will just take you down and just try to choke you out. He will smash you. So people don't understand this. And the second thing is that they talk about mostly about Usman Nurmagomedov and Umar Nurmagomedov, not only about Islam Makhachev. They talk about Islam Makhachev also this point that they are better in striking, just because they have some cool kicks and they are flashy and they have good, like decent enough kicks, I should say. Yes, it's like, yeah, they have decent kicks, better than Khabib. I should say that, but you don't know, like you really don't understand that. Yes, they have good kicks, but as soon as Usman Nurmagomedov, like Umar Nurmagomedov in the last fight card had that moment where he was punched hard in the head region by uh, Behzad Al Makan. Like he's a great like knockout artist. You don't know nothing about like regional martial arts if you don't know like who Behzad Al Makan is. I don't like I don't imagine that everybody knew Behzad Al Makan before this fight, but if like that this is a very dangerous striker. And I mean, you should always understand that these are certain types of fighters, like these are very dangerous matchups for Umar Nurmagomedov, and he took it without any apparent like there is no advantage of taking this fight, but he took it. And as soon as he got knocked out, where was his striking? He didn't want to strike with Behzad. He just want to like take him down and do what's like what was Khabib's like bread and butter. Just want to wrestle and wrestle and wrestle. He forgot that he was a very good striker, and he just wrestled. So this is what I'm trying to say, that they are good strikers, but they are not like Khabib. They will never become like Khabib. Khabib was really, really different than all of them. You know why I say this is that these strikers, when they take you down, they are not as ruthless as Khabib was on the ground in terms of ground and pound. They are so different from Khabib, because Khabib was someone who was smashing, people when he took them down. He was not only looking for submissions, he was smashing people on the ground. So he is actually, I mean, if you really want to imagine how the fight with Volkanovski and Khabib would have gone, I respect Volkanovski. I really like Volkanovski. Like, I'm the one of the like one of the last people who accepted that, yeah, I mean, it wasn't the lucky punch against Ilia Topuria was legit. But I believe that if Khabib had a fight with Ilia Topuria, he would have knocked him, like against Volkanovski, he would have took down Volkanovski and knocked him out, like technical knockout on the ground by punches. Like, it wouldn't be as close as like Makhachev's first fight with Alex Volkanovski. So this is my opinion. That's where like people really don't understand that these fighters are totally different from Khabib. And I'm not talking about like these fighters like Zubair Atoho. I'm talking about the fighters who are winning, Makhachev and all. And the second part of this video that now comes is that now I will talk about why I mean, it's better because Khabib was too dominant. These fighters, as soon as they have this confidence that they can strike with someone who is good with striking, they will try to stand up. They will try to do the stand up thing, and as soon as they do the stand up thing, there's a chance of them getting knocked out. And I really like these, like, really, really disciplined fighters, but there should be an element where they can be defeated. This is the way that they will be defeated. They will be so confident that they can strike, and then as soon as someone is more dangerous on the feet, they will just knock them out, and that's how they will lose. So if there wasn't Khabib, like if they were as similar to Khabib in every aspect, we would have never I mean, we could there it might be a case where we have seen no one win other than these fighters. So they're different and they are more confident in that. That's what will eventually lead to their downfall. And that's like I want like I know I should know that other fighter has a chance. In every of the Khabib fight, I knew that none of these fighters had a chance. I really didn't had the privilege to make YouTube videos back then, but I really thought that these fighters don't have chance of winning Khabib. And the third point I was trying to make is that how the fans perceive, like, every time I see someone who has that name, Nurmagomedov, Tukhugov, something like that, like from a specific part of Russia, they are like different. So people just say they listen to their name, they are like, yeah, these are very good, but like, people perceive them as certain type of fighters. They just see them and they just think about a wrestler, a very dominant wrestler. But this is not true. I think you should understand that there are great strikers, and I'm not talking about these fighters who have good base in wrestling and they are trying to become strikers. I'm talking about real strikers. So let me just remind you, the greatest featherweight of all time, because people don't remember this, the greatest featherweight that could have happened. Like, do you remember Zabit? Zabit Magomed Sharipov. He was someone who was from that part of the world, whose bread and butter was striking. Not like he had a base in striking. He just learned how to base in wrestling, and he just learned how to strike, like some of these fighters like Umar Nurmagomedov and Usman Nurmagomedov. I think this is the things. These are things like people don't understand. There are certain types of gyms in that part of the world where they are good strikers and they focus on striking. So this is what I really wanted to say. and that will make UFC more interesting, because we have a wave where like every division has these fighters. Like in featherweight you have Movsar Ivloev, very different, like very different type of wrestler, a Greco-Roman wrestler, not combat sambo wrestler, so very different. And in flyweight you have Muhammad Makhachev, and in bantamweight division you have, of course, Mira Abdulishvili, but really different. Like he doesn't even know how to complete a takedown. Just I named him as Mirab the skunk, the small skunk, the Alishvili. Although I am same height as him, but like he just spams takedown and just doesn't get it. So I don't want him to become champion, but maybe he will become champion. I really feel depressed when I see him win. So the in the in the lightweight division we have Makhachev, of course, and other fighters also. In in welterweight division, of course, there are like fighters like that, but not really, because Hamza Chimaev, Bilal Muhammad, these are not like in the Bilal Muhammad is maybe will never get a title shot, and Hamza Chimaev actually is now a 185 pound fighter. And at 185 we have, of course, Hamza Chimaev. At 205 we have Magomed Ankalaev, again a striker, not a wrestler. And at heavyweight we don't have anyone, so we are lucky. So I really want them to have a very striking heavy matchup sometimes. Just say that I enjoy wrestling, I really like wrestling, but just have that confidence which can get you knocked out, and we enjoy that. That's what we do in this channel. We talk about martial arts. We love talking about martial arts. We talk about football, and yeah, this is basically it. And I sometimes talk about my life, but that's very rare. So that's what we do. If you like the content, please like, share, subscribe. Peace.